Clayton Gavins, and this presentation is made for ChE 564 Food Processing course. Today we will be discussing the modern commercial potato production from seed development to your plate.
Potatoes have been domestically cultivated for the past 8,000 years. They are a great source of nutrients and make a great dinner time meal. In this presentation, we will be outlining commercial potato production from seed development to their applications in the food industry.
The first point of discussion is seed development. The following method for potato propagation has been used for the past 200 years in North America. Below are listed the main steps in seed production. 1. Disease-free plantlets are multiplied by cutting in sterile conditions in the laboratory, usually under a fume hood. 2. The plantlets are propagated in sterile rooms. 3. Seed growers plant the plantlets in greenhouses to produce nuclear tubers that will be planted in the fields the following year. 4. Nuclear tubers are harvested from greenhouses and stored until they are planted in the fields. New research is being done into a tomato-like fruit found on the potato plant. It produces seeds that are known as the true potato seed. Currently, these seeds are not used in commercial potato production since they create less consistent crop yields. However, studies are being done in Saskatchewan to breed plants that will produce viable seeds. These seeds will be beneficial for poorer countries where farmers cannot afford to pay 30 to 50 cents per potato tuber. So far, 5 varieties of true potato seeds have been developed with successful crop yields. This branch of potato production can prove to be revolutionary for the potato growing industry. A genetically modified organism, or GMO, is an organism that has had its genes altered in such a way that does not naturally occur in nature. It can also contain genes from another organism, such as a virus. Consumers have had a hard time accepting that eating a potato with a virus gene is safe or healthy. A survey done in Mississippi that showed that 86% of respondents would not consume a vegetable that has had a virus gene implanted into it. New development in genetic engineering are now allowing scientists to use native DNA that comes from the plant itself to modify crops. The benefits include less disease, resist damage due to weather, ripens slower, bruise less easily, and contains more nutrients. The consumer backlash over foreign DNA modification created a market for same-species DNA modification, with approval rates of 81%. In the picture on the right, the potatoes on the top had not been genetically modified, whereas the potatoes on the bottom have been genetically modified and show a great french fry.
When it comes to growing potatoes, they are a very robust temperature climate crop that can grow in almost any type of soil. However, potatoes prefer well-drained, light, deep, and loose soil. They tend to grow best in acidic soil conditions with a pH range around 5.2 to 6.4. To avoid pathogens, farmers will rotate their crops from year to year. Climate is also a big factor in potato growth and yield. Potatoes require about 6 hours of sunlight each day to flourish. Potatoes grow best at a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. Growth of the potato is vastly inhibited at temperatures below 10 degrees C and above 30 degrees Celsius. For this reason, potatoes are planted in the cooler months of a hot climate region. There are numerous amounts of diseases and pesticides that can affect potatoes from year to year. These include soil insects such as wireworms and white grubs, as well as above-ground insects, for example, the Colorado potato beetle, aphids, and the potato leafhopper. Pesticides are often used for pest control. Though they protect the potato from pests, they often have adverse health impacts. In a study done by the Northwest Coalition for Alternative to Pesticides, they found that out of 41 pesticides used in the United States on potatoes, 14 of them were considered carcinogenic by the United States Environment Protection Agency. This is a negative impact to the consumer, and there is a push towards pesticide-free production. After approximately 10 weeks, potatoes are ready to be harvested. A hectare of potatoes can yield more than 40 tons. Potatoes are usually harvested on a dry day with big potato harvesting machines. Potato harvesters are complicated machines that must dig the potato out of the ground while separating the potato from other plant material, dirt, and rocks. Harvesters must do all this while being gentle enough to prevent bruising. Harvesting potatoes efficiently in this manner can, however, have adverse effects on the environment, for example, loss of nitrogen and nutrients to the soil. This is a picture of a big potato harvester. As you can see, it is very complicated.
The next topics are storage and irradiation. Straight from the field, the potatoes are first culled, meaning they are sorted, and all out-of-spec potatoes are discarded. Next, the potatoes go through a curing process, which involves storing the potatoes from 10 to 16 degrees Celsius for 10 to 14 days, after which they are stored for the season. Storage conditions are very important. The incorrect temperature, humidity, or airflow can cultivate diseases, rendering the potatoes unusable. Irradiation is a process of exposing certain foods to an energy called ionizing radiation. Irradiation works by penetrating the food and killing microorganisms within it without raising the core temperature. Not only does it kill bacteria within the food, it can also slow down ripening by reduction of sprouting, thus increasing the shelf life. One application of potatoes is the starch recovery process. Starch is an important compound that is used throughout our everyday lives. The main sources of starch include corn, rice, wheat, and potatoes. Common applications of starch include, but not limited to, the use in jellies, food thickeners, dry baking mixes, candies, syrups, and industrial alcohol. On the right is a patented process from ChE mechanical equipment of how they separate the starch from the potatoes. The process contains 5 main steps: pre-treatment, fruit water separation, which is the protein extraction step, final extraction, washing, and finally dehydration. This process provides customers with high-quality, pure white starch.
There are various food applications for potatoes existing today. Potatoes can be sliced, diced, baked, mashed, dehydrated, and cut into French fries and potato chips. The video on the next slide will show a French fry processing line in visual detail.
Conclusion, let's review. Tuber development. Tubers are created from seedlings in the lab. New advancements are being made in the true potato seed development to provide for poorer countries. Finally, GMO research is creating more nutritious, longer-lasting potatoes from same gene modification. Production. Climate and soil conditions play a large factor in crop yield. Pest and disease control is essential to healthy crops. Finally, proper harvesting is required to obtain max yields. Storage and radiation. Proper storage conditions are essential to potato longevity. Irradiation is an ionizing energy and can prolong storage longevity without raising the core temperature of the vegetable. Applications. As seen in the video, some processing facilities can process up to 2 million pounds of potatoes a day to provide for the McDonald's loving population.